All right. So I just got a thumbs up that you can hear and see me. So let's start with today's class. We're going to start with our breathing. So I'd like you guys to lie onto your back. So you're going to lie on your back and have your arms long by your side. Make sure before we start breathing that you are in a neutral spine. So what I mean by that is that your pelvis is touching and heavy on the mat. Your rib cage is touching and heavy on the mat, but you don't want the lumbar spine to be on the mat, because if you follow the natural curve of your spine, there should be a bit of space underneath your lumbar spine. And you can double check that by sliding your fingers underneath the lower back and making sure this is not touching the mat. The amount of space depends on your morphology. So for some people, it would be as little as a little hazelnut, or for some people, it would be as big as a walnut. This it's totally down to your morphology. So now we have our neutral spine. You're going to relax your shoulders on the mat, relax your palms on the mat facing down, and we're going to inhale through the nose and out through pursed lips. And again, keep going, inhaling through the nose, long inhale, and then exhaling through pursed lips, just as if you're blowing out a candle. And keep going. Every time you're inhaling, not only you're really trying to fill as much as possible your lung with the maximum volume you can get in, but I also would like you to imagine like you're sending the air in the lower part of your lungs, in the lower part of your rib cage. And that means that it's expanding the rib cage onto its sides and also onto the back of the rib cage. And then when you're exhaling, I'd like you to feel that your waistline comes tighter, like it's closing in every time you're exhaling. Feel how this whole waistline, you can even use your hands around your waistline and feel like it's closing in and down every time you're exhaling. The last thing I'd like you to think about, it's when you're exhaling, we also want to fire up the pelvic floor. So a lot of people, they don't know how to engage their pelvic floor, and that means they're not protecting their organs, they're not protecting their pelvic floor as they're moving. So what you want to do is every time you exhale, I'd like you to feel that you're pulling your pelvic floor up, up, up towards your rib cage. So feel like if it was an elevator, it's like it's coming up the lift as you're exhaling. Or like if you had a box of Kleenex, it's like you're pulling a Kleenex out of the box and pulling that up, or zipping in tight jeans. And again, one more full inhale. And last exhale. And now we're going to start moving. Okay, guys, let's start with our imprint to neutral. So as we said, you are now in your neutral spine. Now I'd like you to use your abdominal muscles to pull your pelvis towards your nose and lengthen the lower back onto the mat. And then inhale to come back to neutral, and then roll back this pelvis towards you, smooth, subtle movement to come into this imprinted position and back to neutral. Last one, you're going to come into this imprint and return to neutral. Don't go as far as hyperextending the lumbar spine. You just want to be in neutral. And now I'd like you guys to return to imprint, and you're going to maintain this imprint with your abdominals and lift one leg to tabletop and then the other leg to tabletop. Bring your arms long by your side for now, and you're going to maintain the imprint as you lower one leg towards the mat, tap and return, and then lower the other leg, tap and return. Let's do one more on each side, but I'd like you guys to explore how far you can go without letting your lumbar spine coming off the mat. So don't be lazy, don't touch like super close to your sit bones. Try to venture as far as possible, but only as far as you can maintain the lower back onto the mat. So now you establish this range of motion, come back to tabletop, and now bring both arms towards the ceiling. So you have the arms long towards the ceiling, but the shoulders are relaxed. And now we're going to scissor the arms at the same time that we do our toe taps. So you might have to reduce the range of motion because this is going to be a little bit more challenging. So you're going to exhale to lower your right leg and your left arm towards your ear. Inhale, bring everything up to the starting position. And then exhale, lower the left leg and right arm. Inhale, return. Let's do 2 more on each side. Lowering, feel the abdominals, maintaining your torso in stable position, and feel also how your lower back wants to come off the mat, but you're using the obliques to maintain this imprinted position. And once you're done with your 2 on each side, we're gonna move on to our last warm-up exercise. So guys, stay on your back. Sorry, I don't know why I came to a sitting. You might think you have to come to a sitting. Stay on your back. And now we're gonna do our head nod. So you're gonna bring your arms back to your side. And now I'd like you guys to just inhale to nod your head, look down towards your knees. Exhale to return the head looking towards the ceiling. And again, inhale, lengthen the back of the neck, but keep the head in contact with the mat. And then exhale, returning your eye line towards the ceiling. So think of it on the last one. It's like you had your head on a towel and someone is pulling it away from you. So you're really feeling the lengthening of the back of the neck, and then you return towards the ceiling. So now we're gonna integrate this little move, this little head nod into our first exercise. It's the ab prep. First, check that your lower back is not on the mat. So for the first ab prep, we're actually gonna keep our fingers underneath the lower back. So have your arms in a sort of like butterfly shape, keep your shoulders relaxed, fingers underneath the lower back. You're gonna inhale to head nod, exhale to curl up, look towards the knees, stay there on the inhale, exhale to return. And again, head nod, curling up, staying there on the inhale, and return. 2 more. And return. Last one. So you're feeling that you're keeping your lower back just where it is, using your transverse to maintain this neutral position, and return. Really good. So once we've done our 4, we're going to challenge ourselves a little bit more. I'd like you guys to interlace your finger, bring them behind your head, and now rest your hands onto your head. Okay? No, all the way around. Rest the head onto the hands. And now you're going to lengthen your right leg, and we're going to inhale to head nod, exhale to curl up and lift the right leg. Make sure you're not jamming the lower back onto the mat as you do that, and return. And again, head nod, curl up, looking towards the foot. Inhale to stay, exhale to lower. Last 2, so we do 4 on each leg. Coming up, lengthen the leg. Make sure you're not having a cheeky knee bend on the leg, making sure the leg is long, 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 like someone is pulling you from the ankle, and return. Once you've done 4 on the right leg, you can bend it and then extend your left leg long, and then inhale to head nod, exhale, curling up, staying there on the inhale, and return it. Give me 3 more on this side. Inhale to lift the leg, lift the torso, maintain this neutral, and return. Really good. Once you've done your 4 on each side, we're going to progress this exercise further by adding a hip roll onto the ab prep. So you're going to bend the legs and bring them a little closer to your sit bones. Keep your hands behind the head. And now you're going to inhale to head nod, exhale to flex up. So you are in your neutral back. Stay there. And now you're going to inhale to imprint and start to roll your hip off the mat, and exhale to return all the way to your head to the mat. And now you are in your shoulder bridge. You're going to inhale there, exhale to start lifting the head, and simultaneously lowering your back, going through the imprint and returning. Make sure you return to the neutral when you're finishing up there and you're looking towards the knee. Let's do 5 more of those. you're gonna start roll through the imprint. As soon as you're the imprint, you start rolling the hips up, and it's the fact of rolling the hips up that should get your head and your torso to lower onto the mat. So think of a seesaw movement. It's the head coming up that makes the hips coming back, and then it's the hips coming up that makes the head coming back. So it's a really nice articulation of the spine. Make sure your elbows are not closing in, so you're keeping them just off your peripheral vision. And again, pushing in, nice sequential movement, and then start to lower. And as you lower, you lift the head. Make sure you're finishing into your neutral position. And once you've done with the last one, I'd like you guys to return your arms long by your side. We're gonna do our hip twist. So if you want, you can bring your arms just a little bit more into a V shape, or even all the way to a T shape to give you support, okay? This is totally up to you. You're gonna imprint your spine, imprint the lower back onto the mat, and then bring one leg to tabletop, other leg to tabletop, and then zip them together. So feel like you're activating the inner thigh muscles as you're pressing those knees, those feet, and those thighs together. And now you're gonna inhale to bring lower both legs towards your left side. Let the right hip come off the mat, but keep both shoulders pressing onto the mat. Come to this point of challenge, and then exhale to press with the lower leg and bring both legs to the center. And then exhale to, inhale, I'm confusing you with the breathing. Inhale to come to the other side, let the left hip lift, and then exhale, push with the lower leg to come back. So make sure, let's do 4 more on each side. When you come to one side, you're really controlling the movement with your torso. You're really rotating from the torso. It's the thoracic spine that's helping you to rotate. And then when you come back to the center, it's the lower leg that's pressing both legs up towards the center. Okay, so keep going. Once you've done the same number on each side. I think I told you to do 5. So once you've done your 5 on each side, I'd like you guys to lower your legs back to the mat and then extend them long. Bring your arms overhead and give yourself a quick ab stretch. And you can also turn your head side to side, because now we're going to move into our abdominal endurance exercise, the 100. So have a quick look. If you didn't come to the previous classes last week, I'll show you quickly how this exercise works. So you're going to find your imprint, bring the leg to tabletop, zip them together, and then you have your arms long by your side. You inhale to head nod, you exhale to curl up and bring those legs to diagonal. Today, we're going to do lower for 50, the legs, and then lift them up for 50. So let's get everybody in the starting position. You imprint, and then you bring those legs to tabletop, you head nod, and then you curl up and bring your arms up to hip height. And now your legs are into diagonal, and we're going to start pulsing the arms into 5 pulse for the inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Every exhale, I'd like you guys to lower a little bit your legs as you go. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Only go as far as you can maintain the imprint, and make sure that your arms are long and lengthening, and the movement is coming from the shoulder girdle. Okay, once you've done your 50, we're going to start lifting the legs 1 every time we exhale. Let's go. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, and last 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring your legs to tabletop. Stay up there. Come a little higher and relax everything back onto the mat. Very well done, guys. Now, I'd like you to have both legs long onto the mat, toes pointing towards the ceiling. And again, those legs are zipped together. So make sure you don't have like one or two lazy legs that are like coming into a V shape and collapsing to the side. We really want them to be glued and zipped together. So make sure you're pressing the toes and the heels together. Your back is in neutral. Arms are coming towards the ears. Only lower your arms as far as you can maintain the rib cage to abdominal connection, okay? So you shouldn't feel that your rib cage is popping up towards the ceiling. If you double check, your last rib should be in contact with the mat. So heavy breastbone, arms towards the ceiling. You're gonna inhale to bring those arms towards the ceiling. Exhale to lift your spine off the mat, one vertebra at a time, come all the way to a sit-up position. Now, everybody stop there for the first one. So I'd like you guys to stop there and double check quickly your posture. So what we want is feeling that you have like a big beach ball over your thigh and you're curling up and over this beach ball. So your pelvis is vertical, your arms are long, and it's almost like you're leading the movement from the top of the head. And once you're there, you're gonna inhale to start lowering down. Keep your shoulders away from the ear. Exhale, return all the way to the starting position. Let's do 5 more. Inhale, arms towards the ceiling and head nod. Exhale. Peel the spine off the mat with control. Legs are heavy onto the mat and you finish looking down towards the thigh. Nice C curving of the spine. Relax the shoulders. Make sure they're not coming all the way up to the ears and come back. And we have 4 more to do. Arms towards the ceiling and then one vertebrae at a time. You should be able to stop at any point if you want to. So you shouldn't be using any momentum, both for the way up and also for the way back. It should be controlled all the way down. And keep going. Count to your 6 reps, coming up, 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 keeping those ankles flexed toward the ceiling and keeping those legs glued onto the mat as you're coming up. On the last one, guys, I would like you to finish sitting up. So once you're done with your last one, stay up there in a seated position. Okay, so you're going to be sitting up straight. And one thing I want you to think about is that you need to feel like you're pushing your sit bones towards the mat and the crown of the head toward the ceiling. So that helps you to lengthen the spine. You can also push on your fist up and then release, and that will help naturally your spine to come into this nice neutral position. We're going to do our spine twist, and we're going to start with the hands onto the head. So stack the hands on top of your head and keep your elbows just off your peripheral vision. You're going to inhale to lengthen, exhale to rotate in 3 pulses towards the right. 1, 2, 3, inhale, return. Exhale to the left. 1, 2, 3, inhale, return. 3 more on each side. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, and return. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, and return. Make sure when you're exhaling and rotating, you're not collapsing the waist. You should stay up straight and lengthen the spine as much as possible, like you're going up a spiral as you're rotating. So it should feel hard to rotate. You shouldn't have much range of movement, but you should feel this nice stretch as you rotate on each side. Okay, once you've done your 4 on each side, now you're going to bring your arms towards the ceiling. Actually, I'm going to be facing you for this one. You're going to bring your arms towards the ceiling, and we're going to do 4 more on each side, but with this little progression. So arms long, palms facing each other, and you're going to exhale to rotate to the right. 1, 2, 3, inhale, return. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, and return. And keep going. Make sure you're not collapsing your spine. Make sure you're not hinging backward as you go. Keep those legs glued together and double check as you rotate that there's not one leg coming like closer, shorter than the other. So you don't want to feel like you're kind of like letting the pelvis rotate and bring one leg towards you. they should stay glued together as you rotate on each side. So once you've done with the last one, you're gonna stay in a seated position and we're gonna do our rolling like a ball. So you come to the front of the mat for this one and make sure you don't have anything behind you for that. And we're gonna do our rolling like a ball. So for that, you start sitting up straight and then you roll up and over your thigh, looking between your knees. And then you're gonna bring one leg up into balancing position and then the other one. So now you're balancing. You have two options for the starting position. Either you keep the legs apart and you press those knees against each other, or you can close those legs together and hold the ankles so you're really forming a nice ball, okay? This is down to your experience. This is the easier version. This is a little harder, okay? So if you are doing this exercise for the first time, hold on to the ankles, look towards the knee. Imagine you're inside one of these big exercise ball and you can't expand at all. And you're gonna inhale to roll back, exhale, return. And again, inhale back, exhale, return, 8 more, inhaling back and return. You can try the more challenging version if you want. So pressing the knees against the hands and the hands against the knees as you go. And once you've counted to 10, make sure you're balancing every time you return. So you shouldn't touch the mat on your return and your neck shouldn't touch the mat as you're rolling back because you're keeping looking at your knees, which should help you to protect the cervical spine. So once you've done with your last one, you're gonna roll down and stay down. So stay down, hold on your knees. That gives you a little stretch of the back, lower back, sorry. And we also are ready for our next exercise, okay? We're gonna have our abs endurance 4 exercise in a row. So you are up there and you're gonna stay up there throughout the 4 exercises, guys. So I'd like you to really keep the shoulder blades off the mat and you're gonna stay in this curled up position throughout the next 4 exercises, okay? So this is to practice isometric contraction of your rectus abdominis, of your 6-pack muscles. All right, guys? So from there, bring your legs to tabletop. We're gonna start with the single leg stretch, nice little warm up. You're gonna reach your right leg away from you and swap on the inhale. Exhale to reach the left leg and swap and swap. 10 on each side and swap on the exhale, swap on the inhale, sorry. Exhale to reach. Inhale, exhale to reach, exhale to reach. Keep going and swap. And once you've done your 10 on each side, you will return both legs to tabletop. So bring both legs back to tabletop. Make sure you didn't collapse down as you were going. We're gonna stay up throughout those exercises. And now we're gonna do the double leg stretch. So you start with your hands onto the knees. Your legs are in tabletop. And now we're gonna inhale to prepare. Exhale to bring those legs to diagonal and your arms overhead. Inhale to circle the arms and return those legs to tabletop. So let's do the first 2 slowly. You lengthen the legs to diagonal and arms overhead, but keep them relatively high. Don't collapse them down, okay? Circle the arms and return. And now 8 more, a bit faster. Exhale long, inhale, circle. Exhale long, circle. Keep going. Once you've counted to 10, you're gonna return to your starting position for the obliques. Stay up there, guys, don't give up. Now interlace your fingers, bring them behind your head, okay? Now you can give a little rest to your neck because your head is supported by your hands, but you're not collapsing. The tips of the shoulder blades are still off the mat. And now we're gonna do our obliques. You're gonna rotate towards the right side as you lengthen the left leg. Inhale, return to the middle. Exhale, rotate to the left. And 7 more on each side. Keep going. Don't collapse. It starts to burn, I know, but we're working those obliques really well. We're maintaining this imprinted position. And once you've done with your 8 on each side, we're gonna do a little modification of the scissors. So you bring your hands back to your knees and you're going to lengthen your legs towards the ceiling. Make sure you're still in imprint. Make sure you didn't collapse down. So your shoulder blades are still off the mat. And now that the legs are towards the ceiling, you're going to lengthen the left leg towards the floor as you bring your left arm on the outside of the right leg, and you rotate it towards the right side. So we're going to do the first two slowly to get the movement together. You're going to inhale, return, and swap the legs. Exhale, rotate to the left and lengthen the right leg. And swap. 8 on each side. Keep those legs long. And return both legs towards the ceiling. Stay up there for an inhale. Bend those legs. Return the head to the mat. Return both legs to the mat. Well done, guys. Turn your head side to side. Give yourself a nice stretch of the abdominals if you want. Long line. This time when you stretch the abdominals, you can let the ribcage pop up. Feel your lungs. Exhale. Very well done, guys. Now we're going to move on to the shoulder bridge. So you are in the right position already. Bend those legs, bring them closer to your sitting bones, arm longs by the side, palms facing down. Or if you want to challenge yourself further, so if you have strong glutes already and you want to challenge yourself further, bring those arms towards the ceiling to reduce the base of support. This is up to you, guys. You're going to inhale to prepare, exhale to push on your glutes to come up to a shoulder bridge. Inhale to stay, exhale to lower. So let's get this starting position very well. You're going to inhale to prepare, exhale to push up into the shoulder bridge. Quick posture check. Weight is on the shoulders. We are forming a nice long line. The knees are moving away from us like they're trying to reach to the corner of the room there. And we lower. Okay, we got the posture right. Now we're going to do our full shoulder bridge. You're going to inhale to prepare, exhale, lift up. Now, lengthen your left leg toward the ceiling, pointing the toe. Flex the ankle, lower the leg, point the foot, lift the leg. Flex, lower, point, lift last time, lower, point, lift, bend the knee, return the leg. Stay up there, lengthen your right leg. And now, lower, lift. 2 more times, lift, lower, lift, bend, inhale there, exhale, lower. Okay, we're gonna do that 1 more time. You're gonna inhale to prepare, exhale to lift your hips up, up, up. And now you're gonna extend your right leg toward the ceiling. Make sure your leg is long and lengthened. Flex the ankle, lower the foot, and come back. Lower, come back, last one, return, and bend, and lower the, sorry, we have to do the left leg. And 3 times. And bend. And now return your hips on the exhale. Well done, guys, for the ones who were following what's going on. So we've done a little mod of the scissor. We're going to do the roll over now. Before we do the rollover, we're going to do the prep of the rollover. Okay, guys? And then, so we're going to do the rollover prep. Then we're going to do the rollover. Then we're going to do the jackknife. The point of those 3 exercises, as well as the scissors that we've done earlier, is to prepare you for the scissors in the air, the first advanced exercise we're going to be doing today. Please, by all means, stop. By all means, stop if you have any issue, regress to the previous exercise, okay? So let's start with the rollover prep. So the first one, it's a really hard exercise, this one, but a lot of people cheat because it's a hard exercise, but not us, okay? We're gonna do it properly. You're gonna imprint your spine and bring those legs to tabletop. Now cross your ankles, okay? Have your arms long by the side, palms facing down. The knees are apart, just shoulders hip distance apart. And now you're gonna inhale to prepare, exhale to peel the spine off the mat and coming up and back down on the inhale. So again, really slow and control. Exhale, up and return down 1 vertebrae at a time. Change the crossing. Let's do 2 more. Exhaling, up, 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 not the knees to the nose, but the feet towards the ceiling. And last one, pushing up and back down. It's okay to use your arms, as a base of support. Okay, so now let's move on to the full. Guys, follow me onto the full. If the first one, you don't like it, regress to the prep, okay? Because I don't want you to injure yourself. This is like down to how strong your abdominals are and glutes, etc. So we have plenty of time to build up all of that. So now you are in this imprint position. You're going to bring your legs to the diagonal. We're going to inhale to hinge the legs to a 90-degree angle towards the ceiling. And now exhale to peel the spine off the mat, 1 vertebrae at a time, all the way to legs parallel to the ground. Inhale to separate the legs. Exhale to roll your spine to the mat, 1 vertebrae at a time. Let's do 1 more of this in this direction. You're going to bring your legs together and then inhale to hinge. Exhale to peel the spine all the way to legs parallel to the floor. Separate the legs and roll back. Keep those feet pointing. Roll back, returning 1 vertebrae at a time in a controlled fashion all the way down there. Let's reverse the leg position. You're going to start with the legs separated. You're going to inhale to hinge toward the ceiling. Exhale to peel the spine off the mat. Use your hands to help you come there if you need to. Make sure your hips are not collapsing towards your face. So you're really keeping those pelvis vertical. Bring those legs together. Return 1 vertebrae at a time, all the way down there. Make sure you don't finish with the head up. If so, return to the prep. Okay, separate the leg, last one in this direction. Hinge on the inhale. Keep those legs straight and peel the spine off the mat all the way to legs parallel. Bring those legs together and return the legs to the mat. Excellent, guys. So bend the legs, return them to the mat. Bring your knees side to side. Give yourself a little rest and a little stretch. Now we're going to move on to the jackknife. Guys, if the rollover was not very nice, please don't do the jackknife, okay? Because it requires even more control, ever more abdominals and more glutes. So just do a few more rollover preps. They're great, great deep abdominal exercise, and they will get you to those exercises, okay? So now let's, for the ones who want, do the jackknife, okay, guys? So you're gonna imprint your spine, bring the legs to diagonal, and bring them, yes, like to tabletop and then diagonal. Now, you're gonna inhale. In 1 full inhale, you're gonna bring your legs to parallel, sorry. And now exhale to extend your legs toward the ceiling. Inhale to stay, exhale to return 1 vertebrae at a time with control all the way back to the floor. Okay, let's do 1 more of those. You're gonna inhale, 1 long inhale, bring the legs towards the parallel, and then extend, use the glutes to extend the hips and bring the feet towards the ceiling. And then you inhale to challenge the position, exhale to return 1 vertebrae to the mat, at the time to the mat. Bend your knees, return the legs to the mat. So we've done a couple of those. If you felt comfortable, if you didn't feel like the weight was getting onto the vertebrae, you should be okay to try the scissors in the air. If this was not very fun, later on when we do the scissors in the air, just like do a few more rollover prep. Again, this exercise is amazing to really build the strength for all those advanced exercises. Okay, guys, so we had enough of those abs. Let's now turn over. We're gonna do all our facing down exercise, all our prone exercise. So guys, you're gonna come onto your belly, okay? And before we even start with the first exercise, I'd like you to do a little warm up, a little prep that will help you in general to protect your cervical spine, your neck, when you do back extension exercises, okay? It's called the head lift. So think of the head nod that we've done earlier. And actually, sorry guys, I'm just gonna attach my hair so you really see my neck, because now with all those like curls, you can't see much. Okay, that should be better now. Okay, so you have just the tip of the nose on the mat. Your arms are on the sides by the shoulders, and your legs are together or apart. This is up to you guys. That doesn't matter too much for the head lift. Now, think of the head nod we've done earlier. It was this teeny tiny movement that was just moving the first two cervical vertebrae, okay? So now we're gonna do the exact same, but in a reverse motion. So the best image that a lot of instructors use is to imagine that under your nose, you have a little marble. Some people say a meatball. I found that weird, but you know, it might work for you. And you're gonna push this marble just 2 inches away from you, and you return. So you inhale to roll the marble just a little bit, like 2 inches forward, and return. So now think when we're gonna integrate this movement into the first exercise, that's all that your neck should be doing. Because a lot of people, when they come into a back extension, what they do is that. So they're actually not lifting at all the torso. They still have their torso onto the mat, and they're only using their cervical spine. So we're trying not to do that. So we're trying to teach our body to just do the head lift, and then we use the torso, the thoracic spine, to lift ourselves up. Okay, so let's try that with the first exercise, the breaststroke. So guys, you're gonna inhale to roll the marble off like just an inch or two away from you. Exhale to lift up as far as you can maintain the last rib onto the mat. Inhale to stay, exhale to lower. And again, inhale, head lift, exhale, come into this back extension, look forward, keep the shoulders away from the ears, don't push on the arms, and return. Make sure that your belly button stays light as you keep going. Give me 6 more of those. Looking forward, inhale to stay. Exhale, lowering the spine onto the mat. The nose comes last. So it's almost like you're reversing the exercise, returning first the thoracic spine and then the cervical spine last. And last one. Inhale to stay, exhale to lower. And now push yourselves into a shell stretch before we do our other 2 back extension exercises, okay? So stay in your shell stretch and feel like you're really trying to round your back when you're on the shell stretch. So you're looking towards the thigh, you're relaxing the neck, you're trying to deepen the core connection so that increases the stretch in the lower back, okay? So stay there for 1 more breath. And then on the next exhale, you can return onto your mat facing down. We're gonna do the single leg extension. So basically these 2 exercises we're doing, they're preps for the swan dive that I'm gonna show you right after. So I'm just getting you warmed up and like, okay with the movement. So now you're gonna stack your fingers on top of each other, and you're gonna rest your forehead onto your hands. So rest your forehead onto your hands, and you're gonna separate your legs a little bit, about like hip distance or just a little bit more. And I'd like you to laterally rotate them. So your heels are gonna be facing and the toes are facing out, like outwardly rotated, okay? Now, for the single leg extension, a lot of people think it's boring and easy because they don't do it properly. So let's do it properly so we feel that it's a hard exercise. So you're gonna inhale to prepare, exhale to lengthen your back leg and lift it up from the femur. Inhale to return. Exhale, to lengthen the left leg and lift it up. Inhale to return. And keep going, making sure you're lengthening before you're lifting, and you return on the inhale. Making sure you're pressing the pubic bone onto the mat, but keeping the belly button light, lengthening the rest of the spine,
and feeling like it's almost like someone is pulling you from the ankle before you lift the leg, and return. So you should feel the glutes in conjunction, the glute med and the glute max are working together to help you lift, 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 and return. And again, lengthen and lift and return the leg. Last one on the left one, lengthen, lift, and return the leg. Very well done, guys. So keep your legs just where they are, but bring the forearms back onto the side. And now just the tip of the nose is in contact with the mat. We're gonna do our swan dive prep. So just quick posture check before. Your shoulders are away from the ears. So it's almost like you're trying to pull your shoulder blades towards the back pockets of your jeans, okay? So you're really like activating and like, you know, stabilizing your shoulder blades and your shoulder girdle before you move. And now it's gonna be in 2 breath pattern. You're gonna inhale to head lift and extend all the way up, up, up. And this time we actually are gonna get all the torso off, keeping just the pubic bone in contact with the mat. You're looking forward and you exhale to return sequentially. The nose comes last. So we're not nose diving. Make sure that when you inhale to come up, it's the head, then the upper back, then the mid back, but you're stopping before you get it in the lumbar. You should feel your glutes working, your legs are lengthened, and you return on the exhale. Return your elbows as soon as you can, and then only use your back muscles to finish the last effort, returning onto the mat. And coming up, and return it on the exhale. Don't go as far as your lumbar spine. You should feel that you're only using your back extensors, but not the lumbar spine as you come up and back. Once you've done your 6-1, now we're gonna do our slow rock. So it's a little progression of this exercise. Basically, we're gonna put together the single leg extension that we've done just before and the breaststroke, like the extension that we've done here. So you're gonna make sure really laterally rotate the leg, lengthen them, activate those glutes, okay? Now, you have your arms at shoulders height by the, more or less your hands, sorry. And now you're gonna inhale to come into this back extension. Up, 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 okay? Now, engage those glutes and you're gonna come down as well as your legs are gonna be coming up. So it's almost like you're a rocking chair. And you're gonna be pushing up and back down on the exhale, lift the legs. Inhale up, so think of a rocking chair motion and down. And last 2. And last 1. And return to your starting position. And now push yourselves into a shell stretch. Well done, guys. Make sure you really stay at least for 2 rounds of breath in your shell stretch, because the swan dive is an intermediate exercise. It's like a really deep extension. So it's nice to really reverse this. And I'm saying that, but I'm getting out of my shell stretch as I say that. So yes, everybody stay in your shell stretch. And on the next one, it's the exercise I told you before. It's the scissor in the air. I would like you guys to stay in the seated position and have a look at the first one. I'm going to demo it, and then you decide if you want to do it or not, okay? So it's going to be a combination of the scissor in the air and of the jackknife that we've done just before. If you didn't like the jackknife, then don't do the scissor in the air, because it assumes you can do the jackknife, okay? So you're going to come onto your back, but please stay seated for now. I'll just show you the exercise, and then I'll be cueing you as we go. So imprint, legs up to diagonal, and you're going to hinge all the way to the parallel, okay? And then you're going to extend your legs towards the ceiling, but support your hips with your hands. And then we're going to be scissoring for 10 times. 1, 2, and switch. 1, 2, and switch. So it's going to be exhale, reach,
reach further. Inhale to switch in the middle. So you're back to this jackknife position, and then you reach and reach further. Once we're finished, we remove the hands, and then we lower the spine back onto the mat. Okay, guys? So let's get together for this exercise if you want to do it. Otherwise, as I said, the rollover prep is amazing. It's a great exercise, okay? It's not beginners, it's really hard. All right, guys. So arms long by your side, imprint the spine, bring your legs to tabletop, reach long to the diagonal. Relax the shoulders onto the mat. You're gonna inhale to peel the spine off the mat, come all the way to legs parallel. Bring your hands behind your pelvis to support it. And now extend your legs toward the ceiling and let's scissor. 1, 2, inhale, switch. 1, 2, inhale, switch. Make sure you swap in the middle, not towards your nose. Once you've done your 10 on each side, bring your legs back to the jackknife position, remove the hands, and return your spine one vertebrae at a time, all the way back to the mat. Bend your knees, bring them toward your torso, and then rock side to side. You deserve that. Well done, guys. And for the last exercise, we're gonna have our assigned bend. No planks today. Okay, guys. So we're gonna finish with the, actually, you know what? We'll do a push-up to finish. So we're gonna do the side bend and then we'll do a push-up. So guys, let's start with the side bend. And actually we're gonna do, because we've done really well today, so we're gonna do a little progression of the side bend, but don't worry, it's not advanced. It's just still intermediate. So normally the side bend, we start with one leg down onto the mat, okay? And one leg like hooking the ankle in front of it, but bend it. This time, I would like you to hook the ankle in front of the supporting ankle, but you're gonna bring those legs down and zip them together. So you're gonna keep them zipped together. Bring your hand forward, so more or less at knee height, okay? And now I'd like you guys to lift from your underneath your armpit, underneath your waist, so you don't feel like all the weight. Just as you do that, like do this lift, you're gonna feel less tension onto the wrist. As soon as you activate those like muscles like the serratus anterior, the lats, you activate them, and then suddenly it's less pressure onto the wrist. Okay, guys, let's go. Inhale to prepare. Exhale to keep those legs together and come into this side bend. And return. 3 more times. And return. Keep those legs. Do not let them separate. Keep those knees pressing together for the last one. And return. Excellent, guys. Swing your legs around. Come to the other side. Same thing, okay? So the top leg is hooked just in front of the ankle of the bottom leg. Zip those legs together. Bring the hand a little forward, okay? And activate, okay? Let's activate, let's lengthen. And now we're gonna inhale to prepare. Exhale to lift up and really make sure you're making your whole body is forming this nice rainbow shape. So you should be in a lateral flexion and you should feel those underneath muscles working. And return. Do not let the knees come apart as you come up and back. Last 2, guys. And last one. And return. Very well done, guys. And I'm really sorry, Mathilde, I couldn't resist. We're gonna have a little plank position. We're gonna have a push-up to finish. So for that, I'm just gonna change a little bit the angle of the camera so you can also see me standing. Okay, guys. And we're gonna do our roll down to push up. So for that, guys, come to a standing position, okay? You're gonna be standing, looking forward. Inhale
to roll in 4 counts. 3, 2, 1, rolling down. And now walk yourselves to a plank in 4 counts. 3, 2, 1, in a plank. And now we're going to do 3 push-up. 1, 2, 3, exhale up. 1, 2, 3, exhale up. 1, 2, 3, exhale up. And now look towards your knees as you walk your hands back towards the feet and roll up 1 vertebrae at a time. Let's do one more. Inhale, roll down in 4 count. 2, 1, and now 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do our 3 push-up. 1, 2, 3, and up. 1, 2, 3, and up. 1, 2, 3, up. Look towards the knees. And roll all the way up. Excellent, guys. As we are standing up, we're going to finish with a little plie. You're going to bring those feet together, heels together, big toe together. Come in balancing position. I had 2 ankle surgeries, so I might lose balance. I'm sorry if I do. And now you're going to bring both arms towards the ceiling, and you're going to plie down and return. And again, plie down, return. Last one, return. Lower those arms and lower those legs. And you guys are done for today. So very well done. I'm super, super happy and proud of you guys. And I'll see you next Monday. Bye.